Hello everyone, Sunderek here. So this video is going to be a little bit different. This video consists of two sections. The first section is going to be relating why I'm going to be taking a break from YouTube. And the second section is going to be regarding some of the probably last comments I can give regarding Kokomi to you guys. So regarding the first part, why am I going to need to take a break from YouTube? As many of you know, I am currently a full-time student. September has started, so my new semester has started. I'm currently dealing with 5 courses already. On top of that, I'm currently also taking a TA position in the university I'm studying at, so that is technically 6 classes for me at the moment. So with that, I've tried my best. You guys have seen me post video last week and stuff like that. But sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to manage with 6 classes and having the YouTube scene on top. So unfortunately, I will be taking a break for a little bit. Now exactly how long the break is going to last, it's not going to be sort of a consistent thing. I'll try to post videos here and there when I go on breaks. For example, I have my reading week, which my university calls fall break, is coming up sometime in October. And I also try to post videos around Christmas, things like that. But overall, I won't be able to do any consistent uploads probably until as early as end of April, because that's when my university is going to end for this school year, and I'll be doing co-op this the upcoming summer and the upcoming fall. So hopefully by then I'll have a little bit more time to go back to consistent uploads. But as for now, this is very sad, but I will have to need to take a break from this style of posting videos. And all I just want to say is thank you guys so much for all the support I've been getting throughout the journey. The almost 8k subs within the amount of time that this channel has really started is honestly amazing. Thank you guys so much. And with that said, let's just move on quickly over the second part of the video. So just a few comments I have about Kokomi. The reason why you might not want to pull for Kokomi on her first day, I'm not saying not to pull for her. In fact, I do not know if you want to pull for her or not yet. Her numbers suggest, if you have watched Tenten's video, of course he did a very detailed mathematical analysis on Kokomi. But I mean, after all, for you'll have to be able to play her to feel if she is the right character for you. So a few things to look into is how smooth does her attack skill go into, because she is a caster or she's a catalyst user. So her attack speed is going to be rather slow. So with that and the fact that she's going to be very easily interrupted, so is that going to play part into her DPS? And on top of that, if just generally if you are if you like her playstyle or not, that is going to factor into whether you want to pull for her or not. The other major reason to wait is that because she is an experimental character. What do I mean by that? Experimental characters are generally speaking characters that do not follow the majority of the rules so far in Genshin. The example of so-called experimental characters go as early as, for example, Child. Child is a bow character, but he's technically more of he's not a single-hand sword user, but he fights close range most of the time, and you do most of his damage close range. You rarely use the bow stance unless you're using her as Q for specific strategic reasons, of course. Other experimental characters like Gongyu from 1.2, Xiao and Hu Tao from 1.3 technically both counts because they involved the new mechanic of HP loss as part of gaining more attack power. And 1.4 had no new characters. 1.5 Eula was sort of the first way to see if physical was actually going to work out, and also Eula's other experimental factor is on the fact that her Q is bunched up into 50% of her damage overall. The same case goes with Ayaka, and also Mona and Ayaka has the experimental feature of their dash. So overall, a lot of characters are so-called experimental characters. And honestly, MiHoYo probably knows this by now, whether Kokomi is going to do well or not, but we do not. The thing is, experimental characters, as said before, the better examples that go very well are like Gongyu and Hu Tao. They do very good damage numbers. They do have specific caveats because they are experimental characters, and you do have to play around those caveats. In Gongyu's case, it's hard dodging while you're charging shotting, and in Hu Tao's case, it's HP control. But if you play those really well, their damage ceiling is really good. However, there are also experimental characters like Yoimiya. Nothing against Yoimiya mains, her damage is okay, but it's not great. And on top of that, she is sort of one of those failed examples on bow character trying to play as a DPS. Not exactly failed in the sense that her damage is not acceptable, but failed in the sense that her damage is not overwhelmingly positive. So with that said, Kokomi is another experimental character. Her experimental feature is on the fact that she both DPS and heals. Noelle technically does that, and Noelle's damage so far is okay. So I do have hopes that her damage is going to be okay to good. However, the other factor of her experimental feature is because she cannot crit. She scales off HP, of course Zhongli does the same thing, Hu Tao does the same thing as well, but overall the fact that she cannot crit might affect her overall damage numbers depending on exactly what type of DPS you're looking for, honestly. And of course, with that said, what I'm trying to say here is do not pull for her on day 1. Wait for all the whales to C6 her or things like that. They will give you a pretty detailed explanation on how she's going to work. Or even if not that, wait for all the streamers, all the YouTubers to pull for her first. Most people are going to definitely doing that on day 1. And once that happens, you will get a detailed guide on what she is going to be looking like. And once with that settled, you have a better idea on whether she's going to fit into your team or not. So overall, I guess what my point here is that if worked well, Kokomi can become the next Ganyu, and if not worked well, Kokomi can become the next Yoimiya. So the question right now is we don't know which one it is going to be. So it's safer to just hold on to your primal gens for like the first 3 or 4 days of her banner and pull on her banner otherwise. So that's all I have for you for today. I'll see you guys in a while. Thank you very much for watching, and for those of you who have been supporting me, thank you very much for supporting me through this entire part of my YouTube journey. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Thank you and have a nice day.